Yo, what's poppin', guys? Sizzle here, and today we're taking a look at the Diva skins to try and figure out what the best one is. And first off, we have Overwatch 1 Diva. I think it's called a jumpsuit? Tracksuit? I don't really know. I'm gonna call it a jumpsuit for now. Very nice, like, suit that she has on. The mech itself is a very nice unified pink color, and just overall very iconic. I mean, this was Diva on launch. This is how she looked. And yeah, just looks great. Diva herself looks great. Her mech looks very just nice overall. Very, very hard to go wrong with this one. But also nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too special. It's just very nice looking overall. And for me, that's a solid B tier placement. Then we have Overwatch 2 Diva, and this one's interesting. They redid the mech, and I think overall the design of the mech looks cooler. Like the little flaps up top and stuff look better. But I don't like the non-unified color. I feel like the pink and white, like two separate colors, don't look as nice. I mean, with this design, I think if it did it all pink, it would have actually looked worse than it does now. But I do like the nice unified color of the original mech, and I think it worked better. And then the tracksuit they changed on Diva, I don't really think it's that great. I mean, there's also the blasters. I'm gonna forget to look at these for sure. And the blaster went from pink to like whitish pink, which this one's just a straight downgrade, at least in my opinion. So for me, this one's like, it's not completely awful, it's just worse than the other stock one. So for me, that's just a C tier. Then we have Beaver. I don't like this skin, I'll be honest. I kind of like the mech. It's like a nice yellow recolor, and you can't really see it, but on the top, there's like bee wings added to like the top of the mech. But the actual suit they chose to give Diva looks awful. I don't like her hairstyle either, or like these little earpieces. I just think it looks kind of shit. And I just don't really like looking at it that much. For me, it's probably a D tier. Might even move it to F tier, depending on what else is coming up. But I haven't really looked at all the Diva skins before, so I'm not really sure. Then we have Black Cat, and this one, for me, probably solid A or even S tier. I'm going to put it S tier for now, but I might have to degrade it later, depending on how good the rest of the skins end up being. This one's very solid, very unique Diva first up with the pigtails and the dress instead of the jumpsuit and her normal hair. The mech also has like a little, cat tail, cat ears, and like, hearts and stuff. Kind of just fits Diva's character, I feel, while being very different. I think there's a lot of effort put into the skin. It looks quite nice, and obviously the general black color scheme with like a little bit of pink here and there, I think works really well. I think it just looks really nice. The Diva, the mech, everything. And then the blaster definitely looks pretty solid too, with the little cat with the heart and all that. I can see why people might really like the skin. For me, I really do as well. Then we have Junebug, and this one is literally just Diva, but like recolored. But the recolor is really nice. It went from like generic yellow mech with a really weird looking Diva suit to Aquaman type suit and like an aquatic looking mech. I still don't really like the hair color and the earpiece, but it does kind of fit the Aquaman thing well. I'm kind of thinking of a cartoon right now. I can't think of the name, but it's reminding me a lot of that cartoon where it's like some guys. I don't know if you've ever seen the meme where it's some guy. It's like we're traveling. We're from the future, the far off year of 2004, and then there's like some guy looks at the computer in the years like 2005 or something. If you guys know that cartoon, please comment below. I completely forgot the name right now, and it's kind of is what this skin reminds me of here on the Diva. Overall, though, it's not too crazy. It's definitely not bad, though. I'm going to say it's like a high C tier. I do like the aquatic-looking mech, and I do actually kind of like the Aquaman suit, but I just don't like that hairstyle a lot. Like, no, that's pretty much all there's to say about it. Then we have Junker Diva. This is, if I was thinking, okay, well, what if Diva was, she had to make her mech from scraps and Junker down or whatever. This is exactly what I'd think up. Looks good. Nothing too crazy, but just looks solid. I'd say it's a low B tier. Then we have Officer Diva, probably the most recognized skin. She's got her tie, obviously. The physics are normally not that bad in game. Not that I've ever really seen it in game much. But yeah, this one's definitely the most known skin, and I think it's for good reason. She get a nice officer hairstyle with the hat, nice suit on, and the mech actually looks really nice. I mean, you got a little police siren on top. It says something Korean there, I think. It says police on the other side. It's got the general, blue and white color scheme of like a police car or whatever. And the blaster is kind of generic and whatever. But the actual skin itself is pretty solid, but nothing too crazy. I will say I think it's a little bit overhyped, but it's still well deserved of an A tier. It does look very nice. Then we have Rave Racer Diva. And this one, I don't know. I mean, obviously you have Diva in like a more normal outfit with like a life vest on, I guess, because you know, wave racers with the ocean or whatever. But like the Diva does definitely look kind of unique and definitely doesn't look bad or anything. But the mech itself looks pretty generic and bad. I'm not the biggest fan of this skin, I will say. I think it's, like I said, just very generic looking. Like I wouldn't really pinpoint this was anything special. So I'm gonna put low C tier. I think it's okay. Then we have Slaying, and this is the one I actually have equipped right now. I really like the look of the Diva. It's like a German style Diva, at least in my opinion. I don't know, maybe it's like French or something instead. I'm not too familiar with all the European countries, but I like the hat, the hairstyle, the whole like dress and everything. All the details look really nice, and then obviously the mech is mainly why I use this. It's got like, you know, bells on the front, a very nice looking color scheme. There's nice colors, a nice wooden body with like the red outsides, a few snowflakes here and there. Nice like gold polish to a lot of this, and then I guess the antlers are there. I didn't really ever notice that, and there's also a wreath in the back, because that's, why not? The blaster also looks really pristine. I'm just a really big fan of this skin. I know a lot of people aren't, but this is the reason this is my go-to. I do have most of the skins. I just really like this one. Why am I not seeing a picture of it? I forget. Oh, there it is. Yeah, for me this is top list here. Then we have Palanquin Diva, and this one's just, that's okay. I really do like the mech here, like the glass with the wooden frame or whatever looks really cool in the middle here, but the shoulder pads kind of don't look too great, and the top looks really awful, and then the wooden finish on like the bottom part doesn't look too great. The base Diva actually looks nice. She's got like a unique hairstyle again. I think all of them have somewhat unique hair in some way or another, but other than like the center here, I feel like the mech looks kind of like shit, but I do really like the center portion. It looks really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all there's to say about it. Don't like the mech too much, and the base skin isn't too amazing. For me, it's like a high D tier. Then we have Academy Diva, another very popular skin, and yeah, I mean, this one's pretty cool. You got the little like Gundam hat thing at the top there, which is a kind of cool thing. It's got the kind of what Overwatch 2 Diva might have had as a better color scheme with pink and white. I feel like the distribution of pink and white is much better here, and overall the mech looks a lot more pink. Obviously, you have like Schoolgirl Diva, which a lot of people like, myself included. You know, pigtail, like ponytail hairstyle. I'm not too familiar with how to call this hairstyle stuff. Sorry if I get all the names wrong for all this stuff, but yeah. Overall, looks pretty solid, but nothing too crazy. I think it's just it's a really good skin, don't get me wrong. But it's not S tier material. I'd say this one's probably a solid high A tier, if I can actually find it. Oh, I think I put it where I meant to put Overwatch 2 Diva. Whoops. There we go. It's A tier. I think it's a high A tier. It's just right on the cusp of S. It's kind of the cutoff. Then we have Carbon Fiber Diva. Very basic recolor of the original. But unlike Black Cat, where it's a nice, like, kind of more vibrant black mixed in with some pink, this is just like a grayscale version of Diva. And I just think it looks awful. I mean, she's like a cheerful, colorful personality, and having just a grayscale version of her skin just looks bad in my opinion. It's an F tier for me. We have White Rabbit, kind of the same design as Carbon Fiber, but white instead of black. I still think it looks pretty generic and just kind of shit. There's so many like variants of Diva that look really good, and I think the default just looks better than this. So for me, it's still an F tier. Then we have Taigiguki. And this one, you got the South Korean flag thing on the top, South Korean like suit on as well, but otherwise it's like kind of a budget police Diva. It's got the white and blue color scheme, and then just some Korean flags here and there. Overall looks pretty generic-ish though, but the colors aren't too awful. So I'm gonna put it high D tier. I think it's just outclassed by police Diva, to be honest. Unless you are like, you know, trying to show like South Korean national pride or something, then I guess it's probably a really cool skin for you, but for everyone else, it's like, it's kind of generic. Then there's Nano Cola Diva. I do have this one. I've literally never used it. I just got it because I was playing the game at the time. When the Nano Cola challenge released or whatever. I think it looks like shit, to be honest. There's just a bunch of random branding here and there. The colors on the mech look completely fucking awful. The like jumpsuit or whatever looks really bad as well. I'm just not a fan of this skin. Like I've had it forever and I've used it just once to see what it looked like in game, and it's just not good. And I guess let's go back and look at the blasters. They're all, generally not too crazy. I think a lot of the blasters kind of hold up with what I was saying about the skins. Except the Academy Blaster, that's actually pretty cool, I will say. I give credit where credit's due. But yeah, let's keep going. Then we have Infinite Ace Diva. This one's a pretty recent release. I think I got this one through some kind of promotion or whatever. Blaster looks okay. The skin looks okay-ish. Generally pretty generic. The only really notable thing is Diva has like a more alien-looking hairstyle with like a gas mask, face mask thing on. And that's, yeah. I mean, that's really all there's to say about it. It still has a very generic coloring, kind of like the others, but it's at least somewhat unique, so I'll put it at the bottom of D tier. I don't think it looks good, though. Then we have Blueberry Diva, basic recolor of stock Diva, but I kind of like it. I think the nice blue color for the mech works, and the orange jumpsuit definitely functions as well. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but definitely deserving of like a high-ish C tier. Then we have Lemon Lime Diva. This is like the worst colors of green and yellowish. I guess this is yellowish green. I don't really know what color this would be considered, but they just bad colors, bad recolor. Bottom of F tier. Tangerine Diva, very unique orange Diva with a teal jumpsuit. It is just a recolor, but it's a unique color scheme. I'm probably going to put this high B tier. I think it looks very nice. I mean, I think the original looks a little bit better, but because this is kind of more unique and less people are going to use it, I think it kind of goes a little bit above. And then we have Watermelon Diva, and this is just a bad color yet again. It's not as bad as Lemon Lime, don't get me wrong, but this one is pretty shit. I would not like to use this one. Now, let me make sure I'm not putting things in the wrong places, because where is this skin? I don't see this skin. Did I already put it somewhere on the list over something else, maybe? I'm assuming this is it. No, that can't be it, because I need Pink Diva somewhere on here. Well, I can't see the skin right now, but no, it would be above the green thing in F tier, but below Nano Cola. So my bad for making this scuffed ass tier list. Just no one makes these up to date all the time. That'd be way too much. Then we have Scavenger Diva, and this is the same as Junker Diva, except it just doesn't fit the theme as well, to be honest. Like it's just a worse version of Junker Diva with a darker color scheme. I'd say it's top of D tier because Junker Diva is just better. Then we have Rion Diva, and this one's commonly used because the Diva is very unique. You have the whole foxtail thing, and obviously like, the fox girl ears and like dress and all that kind of has its own theme. The mech itself isn't anything too crazy, but it's kind of cool. It's got like a whole building thing going on where it's got the roof of like a Japanese style home there, and the rest of it's like made of like part wood, part metal, and a very nice mix. But mainly use this if you like the Diva a lot, which is fair. And it's got a pretty nice looking blaster as well. I will say this one's definitely very unique, but it's not my type of skin. I prefer the mech over the Diva because that's generally what people are looking at. So for me, this is a solid skin, but probably bottom A tier. Then we have Cruiser Diva. This one's like Country Girl Diva with a pretty bad looking mech, to be honest with you. I don't really like the color of blue they used here for this mech. I don't think it goes that well, especially mixed with the white. Does not go that great. You do obviously have like the little, well not obviously, but you have the little pine thing on the window there, and that's kind of a cool detail, but otherwise the mech looks like shit and the Diva looks okay. But for me, that's not much, so I'm going to put it probably in D tier. Then we have Varsity Diva. This is an alternate skin of the Academy Diva. This is like, the other one, Academy Diva, is like, the friendly, normal schoolgirl, and then this is like the anime, hyper-competitive schoolgirl Diva. It's got different hair color, like a more Gundam-colored mech. It still has the little Gundam hat thing up there. I'm not the biggest Gundam fan. This is just like a super recognizable type of like hat thing. You don't see it anywhere else. And for me, that's probably just a solid like A tier. It's like an alternate. You know, they each have their own style to them. I prefer normal Academy to Varsity, but I could see why you might prefer it the other way around. Then we have White Cat Diva, and I think this one kind of falls flat compared to Black Cat Diva. I think the black and pink went together really well. I think the white and pink don't go together as well, at least for me personally. And then I don't like the orange hair color either. You know, it's personal preference or whatever, but that's my preference. You know, this is my tier list. I will say it's not completely awful, but I'm probably going to put in like lower B tier since it is just kind of outclassed by an alternate. Then we have EDM Diva, and this one's cool because it's got like a changing color. Like it's constantly just changing colors and shit. It's got a polygon type design, like the mech is like very polygon heavy. You see just every little polygon of the mech, and I kind of like that. The actual Diva herself, kind of whatever. It got like a little bunny headset, pigtails again, ripped jeans or whatever. It's like it's an okay look, but the mech is very unique. I like the polygon style and the fact that it like changes colors and stuff. If I did like Diva, this probably would have convinced me to get the Season 1 Battle Pass. Like it's a good looking skin. But I don't really ever like playing Diva. I don't like Defense Matrix. Everything else I don't mind, but Defense Matrix is a bit much for me. But for me, this is probably low S tier, and it's very unique in the fact that it's like an animated skin, and it does look very nice, I feel. Then we have Turtle Ship Diva. I don't remember ever seeing this one before, but this looks insane. This is like a Galactic Invader Diva, and she's got like a little warrior headband on, like a warrior outfit. I really fucking like the look of this one. It's very, very unique. There's nothing else like most of this other Diva skins are like, you know, cutesy or like spiritual or whatever. This one is like warrior Diva coming in to fucking kill you. You know, she's got a little dragon head on the front of her mech, like a Bowser Koopa shell thing there. Some little lantern things up top, and overall a very nice color scheme and general mech design. It just looked fucking amazing, in my opinion. For me, it's a solid S tier. Then we have Gentle Toki Aqua, which is just the cool, you know, polygon animated EDM skin, but just generic white and kind of bad. Without even the headband, they got rid of the bunny girl headband and added this little, I know, high-tech gadget glasses or whatever. I just don't think it looks good, I'll be honest. I think EDM outclasses this in every single way. For me, it's just an F tier. I can't think of a reason to use this. And then there's Gentle Toki Fuchsia, I don't know how you say it. This one they released really recently, and it does have a slight animation. Like, I don't think the other one did. Oh, it did have a slight animation, but it's from white to white, so like you don't really notice it outside the light, or white to yellow, I guess. I don't know, this animation, I guess it's still there, but it just doesn't hit as hard. I can barely see it, I feel, unlike on the EDM one, or on this one, where I can notice it right away. This one's a more, like, the EDM one was, like, the whole thing is, like, almost changing color. I know the whole thing isn't actually changing color, but the way the background, like, bluish purple is, it really emphasizes the glowy parts of the skin. This one doesn't do that. But this one does to some degree, but it's mainly like a pink skin with that glowy type of outline, which is actually kind of a unique take on the skin. She's now... Is that a band-aid in her hair? What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a hair clip. Okay. She's got a hair clip in her hair now. She still has the high-tech glasses, which I don't really like as much. But the rest of the skin's pretty much the same, except like pink. So it's kind of personal preference here. I think this and EDM kind of fit in the same tier. They're both really cool in the same way. Then we have Midnight Diva. Okay, so clear. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my tier list now. I want to kind of fix where things are. This is Overwatch 2 default Diva. What the fuck? Did I take two pictures of Overwatch 2 default Diva? That's what it kind of looks like. So the one that I couldn't figure out, I'm gonna put Overwatch 2 Diva in this place because there are only two skins left at this point. Which is one of the TVs Midnight Diva, which I don't know why this is such a... It's like an anniversary exclusive skin, and it just doesn't look that great. It's like a basic recolor instead of the nice pink Diva normally has. It's closer to a purple, and then it has like that weird carbon fiber coloring. I just don't think it works that well. It's probably like F tier for me. And our grand final one here is for some reason not available for me to spectate here. But if I go to the shop and the Overwatch League, you can see 2020 Pacific All-Star Diva, where you have like a more cloudy. This is one of those more spiritual Diva skins. You got a kind of cloudy, like heavenly type of skin. You have the blue clouds and stuff with a white backdrop because clouds are white. Diva has like a whitish hair that you'd associate with like, I don't know. I feel like for me, I associate with something like up in the sky. Then she has like galaxy pants that have like a little animation sparkle and stuff to them. And when she moves around, the texture moves around, but doesn't look too impressive. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. It's okay, but honestly, a lot of the default skins kind of top it. I'd say it's probably, I don't know, above Officer Diva in A tier. That being said, that's all the Overwatch 2 Diva skins ranked on the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.